Hello, my name is Parit Patel and my project is going to be on growth proportions of miniaturized plants. I work on a farm and the main problem we have is during during transplant during the time when we transplant the plants from pods to planters, the roots they get too stressed and the plants become miniaturized. We usually throw these plants away, but I'm going to be keeping and measuring some of the plants and seeing if it's worth the money to actually save the plants instead of throwing them away. For my data needs, I'm just going to be measuring a select few miniaturized plants I've set aside over a short period of time and seeing how much they grow. For method of gathering the data, I'm just going to be gathering the data on the farm I work at. I'm going to be using a simple ruler and I'm going to be measuring it in inches. The plants are going to be all outside, exposed to all of the elements. And I picked about 5 plants and I started measuring them a couple weeks ago. So I've been keeping track of them, seeing which ones grow, which ones haven't grown, how much they've grown. For my data classifications, my data is going to be in a semi-structured data file, uh, more specifically just a Word document in Google Drive, where I'm just going to list all the measurements. But if the measurements become a little too much and a little unorganized to keep track of in just a Word file, I'm going to move over to a structured data set with also in another words an Excel file also in Google Drive. This way I can have it saved to the cloud and backed up and it will be available and I don't have to worry about losing it. My data is going to be stored on the Google Drive for storage as I mentioned earlier, but I will also be keeping it on a local hard drive on my boss's work computer and my final data results will be stored on my boss's work computer as mentioned locally and I'll keep it on my Google Drive just in case as a backup. For my next step keep I'm just gonna keep track of the plants, see how much they've grown and in the end just try to figure out if the plants that grew the most if they've grown enough for me to keep doing this in the long run and keep saving the miniaturized plants or if they haven't grown enough then we're just gonna have to keep throwing them away because they're not worth the time, the money and stuff we put into the fertilizer to give them and everything to kind of raise them just for them to grow not that much at all, like a tenth of what they would have grown originally.